On today's show, we head over to the Middle East and to the Dubai Autodrome in the United Arab Emirates as we bring you the highlights from the opening round of the 2023 Hankook 24-Hour Series for GTN touring cars, the Dubai 24-Hour. And with the 2023 season of the Penrite ProMx Championship presented by AMX Superstores fast approaching, we take a look back on all the 4 MX1 action from last year's opening round in Wonthaggi, Victoria. This is Speedweek.
The Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai, the start of the international endurance season.
We're attracting cars from all over the world.
Teams, a lot of drivers from everywhere coming for it.
Up to 90 cars on track. It's extremely busy.
There aren't too many races like this in the whole world.
It's something that's almost indescribable unless you've been here and experienced it yourself. Dubai, a city and an emirate of contrasts. And this weekend, the centre stage for records to be broken. Race teams from all over the world have travelled here for a true racing spectacle. The 18th running of the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai. Our teams and drivers are looking forward to tackling iconic racetracks around the world, including Spa-Francorchamps, Monza, and the circuit of Catalonia, Barcelona. But this race has some impressive statistics. There are 54 cars in the pits representing 9 manufacturers, and they'll be driven by over 250 racing drivers from 34 different countries. The 24 Hours of Dubai, one of the most international and colourful races in the world. Drivers, start your engines. The 2023 racing calendar is about to kick off. But before the stresses and strains of the race weekends, the traditional driver and car parade gets underway close to the city centre at Dubai Motor City.
This race has always been a highlight of to start the year, and we've been fortunate enough to win it 3 times and also taken another couple of podiums, a second and a third. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Every year it's a pleasure.
Motorsport fans and friends and families all experience up close the fascination of endurance racing.
We have a lot of motivation about the race. This is a 24 hours race and everything can happen. So yeah, we expect a lot of challenge.
So for me it's nice to race against the men. I hope we can win.
24 hours at Dubai
It's the best.
is the best.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, I think. With a great lineup of drivers on our car, and the team's fantastic, and I don't think it's going to be an easy one. It's going to be a tough one, long 24 hours, and it's going to be really awesome.
This is the 18th time that Dutch promoter and series organiser Creventic have put together the 24 Hours of Dubai.
We started in 2006 when we had the first race also in January, and from then we created on this race every year. In the past we started with 60 cars, we grow through the time, and now we're going to have a good grid of GT3 cars and touring cars. When we came here, it's a wonderful track, very challenging, still from the beginning, and Dubai is a unique, friendly city. So it's a combination of motorsport and a holiday and vacation. It's a wonderful combination. People still like that. We have 55 cars on the grid, starting from TCR cars, touring cars, and from that we're growing to GT4, Porsche 992 Cup, and a lot of GT3 machinery. If you look from drivers, most of the teams have 4 to 5 drivers, so we have approximately 250 drivers here. And the nice thing, they're coming from all over the world. And although they are competitors, if you look here in the paddock, they are friends and they do the same passion. They're helping each other, but on the track they are competing.
The lineup includes amateurs and gentlemen drivers, but there are some real giants of motorsport here too, including the 9-time motorcycle Grand Prix world champion, Valentino Rossi. He'll be behind the steering wheel of the BMW M4 GT3 of the Belgian WRT team.
For me, it's the first time here, no, in Dubai it's not the first time, but here for the 24-hour, and it's a great race, especially it's a very good track, I like, it's interesting. Yeah, the target here is make a kilometer with the car and be ready for the season. But you know, when you make a race, you want to try the maximum. I think that we have a very strong lineup, so we can be competitive for the race. It's always difficult to understand how much. For the victory, for the podium, still don't know. We will see from tomorrow. And also the team, the WRT, is always very competitive. They won here in the past, so they have enough experience for this type of races. In motorcycle, you are always alone when you race, and here you are a part of the team, and you share the car with other four drivers in this case. And it's very, very interesting because we have a lot of fast guys where I can improve, I can learn because they are the top level with the GT car. And also, you know, when you make a 24-hour race together, you have a special relationship, you know. And sincerely, I enjoy a lot, and are all funny guys.
So the cars, the drivers and the teams are top-notch here in Dubai, as is the racetrack. Dubai Autodrome is an FIA-sanctioned 5.39 kilometres, just over 3.25 mile circuit. 16 corners, also long high-speed straights and a technically demanding infield section. Since the early 2000s, it's become the hub for motorsport in the region and is home to many international races and championships. Fasten your seatbelts, let's have a look at what the circuit brings to this fantastic race. The start-finish straight is 800 metres long, and the fastest cars in the GT field will brush 255 kilometres per hour before cresting the brow and braking into turn 1, the right-hander, bringing the speed down to around about 110 kilometres an hour. Turn 2 is absolutely flat out, hard on the throttle. Up through the gears, around about 190 kph. And then heading through the switchback areas through 3, 4 and 5. Turn 6 leads immediately into turn 7. This is tough, you've got to turn and brake at the same time whilst getting the speed down. Car a little unstable at this point. Over to the right-hand side of the road, back up through the gears and picking up speed to the Parabolica, turns 8 and 9. As much exit speed as possible because that leads on to the long back straight. 260 kilometres an hour and more, and then all the way down to 65 kilometres an hour, hard braking at turn 10. Turn 11, starting to climb uphill, picking up speed as we head towards a hairpin at turn 12. Down to 72 kilometres an hour, easy to miss your braking point as you crest the rise, and then just as you come out of this corner, there's another slight brow which can unsettle the back of the car. Now plunging downhill, no lift through turn 13, which leads into the speedball of turn number 14. Many different lines around here, depending if you are racing or qualifying. Up over the brow at turn 15, get this one right because that controls your speed downhill into the final corner at turn 16. Most important, corner on the track. Take as much speed as you can without going off the circuit, and that's a lap of Dubai Autodrome. Let's have a look at qualifying. This is when pole position is earned. All the drivers will be pushing their cars to the limit to put down the fastest lap on the tarmac. The best lap per driver counts. Then it's the team with the fastest average lap time over their 4 drivers that claims that coveted pole position. Now this time the format of qualifying is a little different. For the first time, 2 daylight and 2 nighttime sessions. This will bring an extra challenge, especially as the pro drivers are only allowed to do the nighttime sessions. Let's have a look at TCE first, and it was a qualifying to forget for the Belgian AC Motorsport team. Problems with their Audi, they'll have to abandon this first session. And their second car had a complete engine failure, both cars only fixed in time for the night session. The French 700-mile team stayed out of any trouble with their Volkswagen GTI TCR. Solid lap times gives them 3rd place. The Zorg Rennsport number 227 Porsche showed great racing, slightly slower second qualifying session, but that puts them in 2nd. Wolf Power Racing, as AC Motorsport, had problems in qualifying.
Hugely well done to the team to get the car sorted. We had a brake disc explode and it made quite a mess, so the guys did a hell of a job to get the car out. We missed the first 20 minutes of the night practice, but managed to get out for the qualifying, and that's what counts. So.
The good news was the second car of Swiss Wolf Power Racing team did run like clockwork. Outstanding fast lap times from all 4 drivers. Means first place in qualifying for TCE. Wolf Power then starting from pole position in their Audi RS3 LMS number 121. It was much closer in the fight for pole position in the GT division. The margin between the first 17s less than a second, and at the end 36/100ths of a second decided pole position. 3rd place, Lithuania's number 911 Team Pure Racing in their black and yellow 991 GT3R. In 2nd position, Abu Dhabi Racing by HRT number 4. After a conservative start in Q1, they put down excellent lap times in Q2, 3 and 4, including the 2nd fastest lap time overall in Q3. One team had the fastest average, of course, the Omani team, Al Manar Racing by HRT with the all-black Mercedes AMG GT3, the 777. Overall fastest qualifying time over a single lap, 1:58.335. These guys are on a mission. It could be difficult to defeat this team, but anything can happen. 24 hours of racing still to come.
Yeah, look, it's a great team job by everyone. To have a 1-2 is fantastic, but particularly on our car, all 4 of us did a good job keeping it clean. Now we just got to get through tomorrow.
Here are the other pole sitters in the 992 class. It's the multicoloured LED lit 955 of Team Vili Motors by EB Motors. In GTX, the Austrian team Razun Mordan Racing with the only KTM crossbow on the grid. And in GT4, the fastest lap was set by Rofco with Dragon Racing. It's the number 408 AMG GT4 Mercedes. A fast and reliable machine, as well as a skilled team, are the fundamental basis for a successful 24-hour race. Sometimes that's still not enough. The right tyres make all the difference. This is where the partnership with Hankook comes into play.
We provide the full service way. We're not just tire providers. We would like to call ourselves like partners of Creventic. So for sure, we arrange all the logistics concerning the tires from the manufacturer till the fitting on the rims, but we also provide technical supports, advices for teams in how to use the best our products. Dubai, it's quite unique. It's a 24-hour race. This year we plan to fit between 4,500 tires and 5,000 tires. But overall we brought here more than 8,000 tires because we also bring wets Oh no, it's Dubai, it never rains, but once it rains very heavily. So like it was 4 years ago. Usually the life cycle of one tire is one full stint. So usually in between 70 and maximum 90 minutes. But once more, it depends how fast you want to go. Faster you go, sooner you have to replace the tire. It's like a compromise, a game of compromise.
The long wait over the winter has finally come to an end. It's race day and the start of the 2023 season. There's a nervous atmosphere on the grid. What will make the difference today into tomorrow?
No, to be honest, it's not the car. I think this year is the best BOP between the cars seems to be this year. I think we got a good average between all the 4 drivers in both cars, and that's why we're in the front.
Teams and drivers have come from all over the world, making the 24 Hours of Dubai one of the most cosmopolitan grids anywhere.
I mean, it's great to come and race with some friends. You know, I first raced with Stephen Grove back in 2013 when I was coming up through the Porsche ranks in Carrera Cup, and you know, I follow what they do in V8 supercars very closely, and the opportunity came up to team up with Steve, Brenton and Anton here, and obviously to come do it with my own team is something special, and we've got a pretty good starting spot here in P4, so it's going to be a tough one. I think any of these cars in the top 10 have a possible shot at winning this thing. It's a great field, and it's a great event Preventix put on this year.
Of course, everybody wants to win. There's a golden rule in all racing, and it's the same in endurance. If you want to finish first you have to finish.
We will see. I think, I guess in the long run we are quite good. We see, I think BMW and Mercedes are really strong in the straight line. So for us, starting from P5 today, it will be not easy to go forward, especially at the beginning to pass, because the other guys are really fast on the straights. At the end, I think we have to do our job, and it's a 24-hour race, and we try to just survive, and then we see what we can do at the end, and we just push until we cross the finish line.
Endurance racing means you have to cope with unexpected challenges and issues. Literally anything can happen at any time.
Yes, in the last 2 days we had a lot of problems, so we kept on switching between one and the other to find the correct differential to run the race. And we hope we managed.
Even the pole sitter in the TCE division, Wolf Power Racing, have had to overcome difficulties.
Yeah, best place to be, and I hope it's also the best place after 24 hours. Yeah, now we are 100% okay. The team did a very good job. The last 3 days they were working very hard that we can be back here for the nice Dubai race, and yeah, I hope now we stay in one piece and then it's okay.
Former World Touring Car Champion Rob Huff once again has had to recognise that endurance racing has its own laws. He'll start from the second to last row.
Yeah, it's going to be a real challenge. You know, we've got some very fast cars around us, especially in our class. It's going to be really tight, but you know, ultimately at the moment it's about survival. We want to make sure the car gets to the end, so we're just going to do everything we can to be as gentle on the car as possible. Just get through, you know, certainly half the race before we start to really have a real strategy to attack. But yeah, ultimately we've got a good car, we've got a great team of drivers and mechanics, and we'll do everything we can.
Here's the starting grid then. Pole sitter Al Manar Racing by HRT, Abu Dhabi Racing, HRT, locking out the front row. On the second row, Pure RXing and Grove Racing in 5th and 6th. On the third row, Tresor, Attempto Racing and Team WRT. And in 7th and 8th, it's Heart of Racing by SPS and the second WRT team. 54 cars on the formation lap. Each driver and team have different ambitions, but they all have one thing in common. They know the next 24 hours will demand everything of them in terms of concentration and talent. On the start-finish straight now, waiting for the lights to go out. Green flag being waved. 24 hours to go. Every second counts. Top speed down to turn 1. Here comes Jules Gounon in the Abu Dhabi Racing Mercedes. The blue and yellow car tries to take the outside line and overtake the pole sitter Lucas Stoltz in the black Mercedes. Joel Sturm in the Pure RXing Porsche just centimetres behind them in third. Lucas Stoltz did a great job in those first few corners, and he's got, whoa, what's that, 6 or 7 cars lengths between himself and the rest of the field. You don't win an endurance race in the first couple of laps. We'll be hitting something towards 600 laps, maybe a bit more. Distance record here, 6:28. Might be under threat in the next 24 hours. All the drivers working to find some kind of advantage. 1, 2, 3 across the track, down at the braking area for turn 10 for the first time. Hard but fair racing. BMW number 7, the MS7 car, the WRT machine working its way through traffic there. Lucas Stoltz then leading, and with a bit of a breathing space from Abu Dhabi Racing in second, Pure RXing in third, Tresor, Attempto Racing in fourth, WRT with the number 7 in fifth, then Grove in sixth, second WRT in seventh, and Herbert Motorsport rounding off the top 8. It's coming halfway around the first lap. Going to be a tough one, this. Heavy G-forces through these fast corners. A mentally and physically demanding race ahead of them. Over the top of the rise and down into 13, 14, 15, now into 16. The leader's getting a little bit of a breather on the front straight. Dylan Pereira looking very, very aggressively at the back of that line. There he goes, turns out, onto the inside, down the fabulous manoeuvre, and just about gets it through. I think there's a little tap there, and that's Dries Vanthoor taking advantage in the BMW as the Audi went down the inside. Came from quite a way back, but I think that was all right. Here's Pereira again. Yeah, he's fine there, and he's got that done at the apex of turn 1. Joel Sturm, that wasn't very nice, was it? Already, the BMW has caught up with the second place car. That's Gunon, the yellow and blue Bilstein machine, through the speed bowl into turn 16. Perfect position for the BMW driver, Dries Vanthoor, who's been part of the WRT effort for quite some time. The leader's in traffic. It's one of the TCE cars. And the BMW already through as they go to the apex of turn 1. Classic Dubai overtaking manoeuvre. New second place car is WRT number 7. Looks like he is able to consolidate that. GP Elite in the bright orange Porsche. Herbert Motorsport behind them, and then it's the 24H Series European Champions Phoenix Racing from last year. They're in positions 9, 10 and 11. No less of a battle going on down there though, is there? Half an hour into the race, just over. Dries Vanthoor, number 7, charging hard. Lucas Stoltz has not been headed yet in the 777 pole-sitting Almanar Racing Mercedes. Great lap times, even considering the traffic here. But Vanthoor's just a little bit quicker and is chipping away at that lead. Oh, there's traffic in turn 16, and that has really hurt the leader. Vanthoor flips out to the right-hand side. 2 Hankook tyres on the red markings under the pit wall there. But that's the first change of lead. Down towards turn 1. WRT, Vincent Voss's team from Belgium. And Dries Vanthoor in the BMW now leading. Lucas Stoltz in the second. Bit further back down the field, Abu Dhabi Racing, the number 4 car. Grove Racing in the number 10 Porsche. Then the second WRT, that's the yellow and black 46 for Valentino Rossi's car. Oh, issues on the circuit. That's a Porsche that's been into the wall. Oh my goodness me, almost a huge accident and a spin for the CP Racing Mercedes. Champion of the continent in 2022. That was a huge incident for Charles Esplanade. I bet that got his heart rate up. Well, there's big damage on that Porsche. Michael Blanchimont trying to get it back to the pits. He'll have to shortcut it back. gets it into the pit lane, but the 932 is going to need a lot of work from its mechanics. Lots of body parts and indeed work required on the barriers as well, as the debris is cleared up. Now, some of the smarter teams here have pitted during this Code 60 and they're putting their amateur drivers in. Very sensible. That'll take up some of their mandatory driving time.
Yeah, I'm curious to download my heart rate from my watch. It had to jump it pretty quick. That was really close. I mean, thank God everybody missed everybody and we got back clear. I thought for sure I'd taken off the end plate off the wing on the right side. It felt mere millimeters, but I'm sure it was more room.
Okay, so this first Code 60 is shaking things up a little bit. Quite a lot of the teams did first pit stop. Tresso Attempto Racing with their Audi. They were very quick in the pits. Smart tactics, and they now lead with Dylan Pereira in that Audi R8 LMS GT3. So 24 laps in the lead for Pereira, and now he comes in for a full service stop. In the 992 class, the red and white Team Falk Auto Tech Swiss team is leading. Alexander Schwarzer leads the pack of Porsches. In GTX, the bright orange Vortex V8 team, French Equipe. And they've had some problems in the past. They would love to start 2023 with a success. Touring cars, second place AC Motorsport with the 188 Audi. Don't forget, they had real problems in qualifying, so that's been a good first part of the race. And here's the leader in TCE, Wolf Power from Switzerland. Marlon Menden took over the car from Rob Huff, and he's trying to stay out of trouble in the traffic. Over 3.5 hours into the race, the sun begins to set. The light is golden right now, but it's 13 hours and 16 minutes of darkness. And that means the biggest challenge, as the temperatures fall as well, is the very dark sections of the track. Even more concentration and focus required from the drivers. The race isn't calming down at all, of course. Here's the battle for the lead. WRT number 7, Herbeth Motorsport, the Porsche number 91. Alfred Renard in that Porsche. Right in the wheel tracks of Jens Klingmann, BMW Works driver. Working their way through traffic. Both into the pits, and that hands the lead to the number 21 team, Haas RT.
We did our best. We actually have to think the mechanics, because yesterday with the qualif, after quali 2, we were on second position, and before quali 3, we had an issue with the engine. Our mechanics took the engine off, worked all night, so we had today a starting place. We started from, I think, 4th place somewhere. Now we went to 1st place, so I'm the only AM driver on the car. So the team did a fantastic job, so we're hopeful.
What a turnaround for Haas RT from 43rd on the grid to lead. That was a bit of good luck for them, but things can go wrong very quickly. Fire out on the racetrack. Abu Dhabi Racing by HRT. They were in second. That's all over now. Sebastian Board is out of the car, fortunately, but his Mercedes is ablaze. What a disaster. 8 o'clock, and a tradition here at Dubai and the 24 to have fireworks. Fireworks on the track and fire on the Abu Dhabi Racing Mercedes at the same time. The drivers have little chance to enjoy the display, even though there is a Code 60 in place. There is a bit of extra light on the back of the track though, isn't there? Century Motorsport though have bad luck. BMW M4 GT4, it's in the pits. Unknown issues. And Ivo Breugers with problems for the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, the number 909 Red Camel Jordans.nl. A huge disappointment for the Dutch family racing team. They were leading in the class. The Porsche machine towed back to the pits.
We came a long way to get here, and we come here to finish the race. So we decided to put in a new engine, and we want to finish the race. So that's what we will do. We are one team. We're going to battle on the problems and finish this race.
Al Manar Racing, the pole-sitting car pushed into the garage. Oh my goodness. The AMG out of the race. Let's have a look at the current standings. 6 hours in. Been a lot of action, hasn't there, already? WRT first and second in the GT categories. Herbeth in third. Haas RT, who started in 43rd, just settling in fourth. Pure RX Racing fifth. Herbeth Motorsport in sixth. That's their second car, the dark red machine. Team Elite in seventh. Grove Racing from New Zealand in eighth. Wolf Power Racing lead the TCE division in the 117. AC Motorsport second. Second Wolf Power Racing in third. Just a quarter of the race completed. We're into the hours now where you normally get some kind of routine, but we've had so much, haven't we? Spins and collisions on the track, code 60s, battles for position, tactical pit stops, fixing of minor or major damages and failure, and lap after lap at full speed. Beside the right strategy, slick pit stops are key if you want to stay on top. Only 4 mechanics allowed to change the tyres. They wear the yellow vests. A mechanic also responsible for cleaning the windscreen, and the green vest is the team member who is the driver helper. The right fueling strategy is also required if you want to stay on top in this 24-hour race. During a code 60, you're only allowed to have 50% of your normal fuel allowance, and if it gets crowded in the fueling area, it's important to come in at the right time when there's a pump available. Right, enough about the strategy. Let's get back to the action. Few changes of position in the top 3 of the past few hours. Currently, it is WRT with their 7 car. They've got a solid lead, just over a minute of Herbeth in second, and WRT in third. Valentino Rossi, remember, in that driver lineup in the 46. The 992 class, dominated by the 962 FAC Autotech Porsche. They've got 3 laps between them and the second place car, the Qatari team of QMMF by HRT.
I need to say the car hated me when I drive because I felt the brakes getting worse and worse. I think I did everything till the last millimeter. A great job to the team FAC Autotech to change the brakes. They really need it, and now Huub is in the car, and let's go again.
In the TCE division, the lead has changed several times. It's AC Motorsport now in first. Scheduled pit stop for them, including a brake disc change. Great job by that team so far. In endurance racing, it's not just about winning trophies and championships or always being at the front of the field. It's about passion, dedication, and a vision. And that's exactly what constantly drives Saif Al-Meri, driver and team principal of the all-Emirati team Rabdan Motorsport.
Yeah, to be honest, for me as a Saif Al-Meri, I have 2 ways to choose, either the winning way or the hard way. For me, Rabdan is an investment for the future to compete in international level, and I know it's very hard. We started from scratch. Here we are in Dubai 24-hour, and we are pushing, we are learning. We managed to bring our mechanics by ourselves, our tools. I know we are not the perfect, we are not the high-end one, but we are here. We are competing with the expert people.
Halfway through the race, and in GT, Team WRT still leads ahead of Herbeth Motorsports Porsche. The second BMW from WRT is in third, Haas RT in fourth. Grove Racing fighting back and back in the top 5 with the second car of Herbeth Motorsport in 6th. 7th for GP Elite, 8th CP Racing leading the AM class. No major changes for TCE. AC Motorsport have a 1-lap lead ahead of both of the Swiss Wolf Power Racing Audis in second and third. 3 a.m. in the morning, halfway through. Surely the time of night when teams and drivers found it the hardest. They've been at the track for days and they will have not slept for hours. This may be the first time driving for some of the amateur drivers in full darkness in race term. Going as fast as you can through the night with any reference points obliterated by the dark. That's what gives the 24-hour race its special feel and character, especially in Dubai. 13 hours and 16 minutes from sunset to sunrise. Over 50% of the race in the dark. Teams, cars and drivers pushed to the limits. Sun up at just after 7 in the morning. A new lease of life for the mechanics and the drivers. The end is in sight-ish, but they have to keep pushing and staying out of trouble. Dreams might be coming true, but there could be trouble around every corner. Endurance racing, expect the unexpected. Top 3 then. 18 changes at the front of the field so far. It's Herbert Motorsport who come out of the night on top. 460 laps completed and almost a minute ahead of WRT in second. Jens Klingmann wringing everything he can out of the WRT BMW GT4, and he's gaining ground on Ralph Bourne of Herbert Motorsport. Valentino Rossi's done a great night stint, and now the German Max Hesser's behind the wheel of the number 46 in third, trying to close down the 2 leaders. Been some problems for the 992 class, which is shaking things up a little bit, but only Team Fag Auto Tech has been consistent, and for hours all of their drivers have been putting down metronomically quick times. Combine this with a well thought out strategy and faultless pit stops, that's position 1 and 2 for the Swiss team. Drama for the GT4 leader, the AMG of Rofco. Problems at the right front for that silver car. Hopefully nothing serious here. Into the pit lane. Looks like just a tyre, not much bodywork damage there as the mechanics do a great job. The team have not lost the lead. They had 3 laps to the second place team, Simpson Motorsport. And another class leader with issues, this time in GTX. This is the KTM Crossbow of Team Razun More Than Motorsport. The Austrian mechanics working to the right rear. They're not in a hurry either. They've got an even larger lead to their closest contenders. That's the French Vortex team, 15 laps in arrears. Back out on the track for the KTM. Unbelievably, it's starting to rain in the desert. The track is greasy, lap times going out. They're all still on slick Hankook tyres. Oh, and there's a little spin. I wonder if that was the rain. Benjamin Mazatis in the Audi R8 LMS GT3. That's the 4th place car. Still in the mix for the podium though. Dino Lenardi, Team Visium in the Ferraris had a rotation. No visible damage there.
It did get quite greasy there, and it's quite ironic to have rain in Dubai, I guess. Both times I've raced here, it's rained, so must be something that I'm doing. But no, it was pretty greasy, and obviously I think as the sun comes up, it's going to change things as well again. So we saw a lot of guys struggle at the start of the race before it got cool, so the race is going to change in another way again. I think it's all pretty wide open out there, and it's been good fun. I mean, it's great to be battling in the top 3, fighting the big teams. So looking forward to the last. There's 6 hours to go still, so there's plenty of racing.
That means we're 3/4 through. 18 hours in the book. GT led by Herbert Motorsport, Team WRT in 2nd and 3rd, Haas RT in 4th, Grove in 5th. Earl Bamber's team there. 62nd Herbert Motorsport car, the number 92. GP Elite still at 7, Harter Racing up into 8th. No changes in TCE as AC Motorsport are still in the lead, about a minute ahead of Wolf Power Racing's 121. And the second Audi of Wolf Power Racing is third. That's the 117. Seven o'clock in the morning and more drama. The 931 Porsche HRT Performance stalled in the middle of the track. There's another car there. It's the second placed Audi RS3 Wolf Power Racing in the wall. Huge disappointment for Kalle Bergman and his teammates. Another Code 60. This is the 13th of the race. Good opportunity for everyone to come to the pit lane. And half a tank of fuel, of course. Maybe some tyres. Well, there's a lot of damage on the right-hand side as the flatbed brings the damaged Audi into the pit lane. Going to be a lot of work for the Wolf Power mechanics. Yasmin Preissig overseeing what's going on there.
Yeah, I just let a GT3 car in front of me, and I was following him into the corner, and he went to pass the TCR car on the inside, and I just followed him in. The TCR car turned into me. I don't think he saw me. I don't think the damage is that bad. I think we might have broken a couple A-arms or something, but nothing critical. The car will get back on track for sure.
We are having an epic battle at the front of the field. For over 400 laps now, either the number 91 Herberth Porsche or the number 7 Team WRT BMW has been leading this motor race. They're both running like clockwork. The drivers are putting in brilliant lap times, even through traffic. The teams are doing a great job in the pits. The fuel and pit strategy is different. That's why the lead keeps changing. In third, the second BMW of WRT, that's the 46 car. They've got a 2-lap margin back to the fourth place team, Haas RT, and they're still sort of within striking distance to the top two.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big fight. Not easy, but we are pushing as much as we can. Now it's a bit hotter conditions, so it doesn't help us that much, but we keep pushing. We go until the end and we see where we are.
Unbelievable. The Vortex V8 team have had a cracking race to now. 20 and a half hours, 461 laps, second place in GTX, and they're on fire with the 702. Nicola Knob needs to get out of that car. The flames are licking out of the engine compartment. This is so frustrating. Well, Nicola is out, that's good, but that's a big conflagration. They had been on for a podium finish, but that is all over now. That machine has been badly damaged. Leaders using the Code 60 to do pit stop and driver changes. Further problems for Wolf Power Racing. The 121 car back in the pits. Oh, this doesn't look good.
It's drive shaft. Yeah, drive shaft is broken again, so we are struggling with it third time today.
AC Motorsport, they are on the better side of luck at the moment though. They've been cruising in first position in TCE division for several hours now. 24 laps is their advantage. If nothing unexpected happens, the victory surely can't be taken away from them now. 3 hours to go, fingers crossed for them. Team Red Camel Jordan, 15 hours in the pits.
The guys worked all night and not in a hurry, just to do it right. And new engine, new heart beating again, and we're going to finish the last few hours.
As usual in the 24-hour series, one team per race is awarded a special prize. The Spirit of the Race, that honours outstanding passion, achievement or sportsmanship in the endurance racing field. This time the award's going to Team Rabdan Motorsport for their commitment to using local Emirati drivers and crew on their mission to grow endurance racing in this region and maybe one day to fly their flag at the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
For everyone, thanks for that, guys, and I hope to see you again and again, winning as well.
Absolutely, I'm sure you will, my friend.
Into the last hour of the race. It's crunch time. Who's got the strategy right? 31 pit stops for Team WRT in second place. They're only 16 seconds behind the Herbeth Porsche. Just over 40 minutes left for Dries Van Toor to close the gap to Alfred Renard. Van Toor putting the pedal to the metal. He's getting closer and closer. Now just half an hour on the clock. Van Toor is reducing the margin to Alfred Renard. 10 seconds now. Actually, he's already in the lead. Herbeth Motorsport has 20 seconds of penalties. WRT has picked up 10 seconds. What a showdown. 23 and a half hours of brilliant endurance racing gone. Half an hour to go. Into the pit lane, Herbeth Motorsport for refueling. They didn't get the strategy right, and Team WRT are back in the lead. At the end of that pit stop, they're going to be ahead. It's 42 seconds now. 42 seconds back to the Porsche. Let's have a look at the class leaders. In GT3 Arm, CP Racing's 85 AMG. They couldn't take the fight for the overall victory, but they'll win their class. Team FAT Autotech, first and second in the 992 Porsche Cup class. Faultless race, great performance to the experienced team from Switzerland. Great run for dual racing by Toro Verde. An exciting battle towards the end of the race. And in their only outing of the year, they'll be on the podium in third. That's the Moutran family team. Huber Racing will take the victory in the 992 AM class. And the GTX class dominated by the KTM Crossbow. An advantage of more than 60 laps. In GT4, it will be Rofco Racing who take the win with Dragon Racing in the number 408 Silver Arrow with the Dragon on the side. Sorg Motorsport with their number 227 Porsche, second in TCR qualifying, unrivaled victory in a class of their own, TCX winner. Just a couple of corners away for the first win for the 24H series by Hankook in 2023. The Belgian team have put together a flawless race. Brilliant strategy. You can't ask for more than that. Close to the distance record. 428 is the current record. Checkered flag and the win for Team WRT in their first outing as a BMW Works team. What a battle for the lead. Back and forth for more than 500 laps, 25 lead changes. Second place for Herbeth Motorsports Porsche number 91. And third place, Valentino Rossi and his teammates in the 46.
I mean, it's a very long race, very challenging physically. I'm happy that it's the second year in a row I was able to win it with the team. I think that if it wasn't for, the amazing engineers, mechanics, and most of all my teammates, we wouldn't have been able to win it, especially twice in a row, which is very difficult in an endurance race like this. So I feel happy, and hopefully next year we'll come and we'll do it again.
In the TCE division, AC Motorsports Audi number 188 is brought to the line by Stefan Parham. They'll win that class.
We had a bit of a difficult week with preparations. The car broke down on both days, Thursday and Friday, also during qualifying, so we started dead last on the last row. But I think our pace was there from the beginning actually, and we are a good quartet, so very similar pace, and that made the difference in the race. We could really take care of the car. We didn't really have to push it, so yeah, perfect.
And at the end of the race, another Dubai Hankook 24-hour tradition. Before the prize giving, the winners are brought to the podium by camel.
Mohamed Saud, Foul Al Saud, Diego Mancher, Jean-Baptiste Simina, Jens Klingman, and Dries Venter.
Here's the overall podium then. WRT, Herbert in second, and the second WRT in third. Celebrations all around the circuit. Well done to the hard-working mechanics. Without them, of course, no success is possible.
It's Stefan Perrin, Yannick Mettler, Miklas Born, and Sam de Jonge.
Winners in TCE. On to the podium with Nick Damon. Big smiles all around. Here's the final standings. WRT with their number 7 car ahead of Herbert Motorsport in second and the 46 WRT car in third. What a start to the BMW relationship for Vincent Voss and his team. Grove Racing in fourth, Haas RT in fifth after starting 43rd, Herbert Motorsport in sixth position with their American crude car. Seventh, Team GP Elite, Heart of Racing in eighth, and in TCE, it's AC Motorsport in first, second and third, Wolf Power Racing. The 24 Hours of Dubai is in the history books. Race number 1 of 2023 is done and dusted. A spectacular start to the season. Well done to Kreventnik, our organisers. Amazing endurance racing, incredible performances of the mechanics and the drivers. 3,347 kilometres completed by the winners. Almost 25,000 laps in total by all of the participants. 25 lead changes, 17 code 60, and just half a minute separating the winner from second at the end of the race. What a great start to the Hankook International Endurance Series. Next stop, Mugello, Italy. I'm John Hindhaugh. See you there.